Hi, I was tagged by my girl Tania from Bits and Bags to do 5 things I love and don't love about luxury. So I hope you stick around and watch. So, the first thing I want to do is talk about my nails. They're gone. And it is because I am now on board with wearing those rubber gloves all day, every day while I'm at work, as well as a mask. And I'd like to give my PSA about a mask. I wear one of several very cute, you know, the cutesy knockoff Louis Vuitton or whatever mask to work. But what I do is put a actual really decent one underneath. I just put them together, and that's how I wear it every day while I'm at work. But you know how when you have coffee in the morning, and even if you brush your teeth at work or you chew gum or whatever it is, I've seen people chew a piece of gum real quick and blow into it really quick, and that smell does not last enough. It doesn't for me. So what a friend of mine turned me on to was peppermint oil. So I just take 1 or 2 drops and put it only on the outside of the disposable mask. That way that smell doesn't change on your cutesy mask. And I put 1 or 2 drops on it, and that smell will last me pretty much all day. And I just bought lavender oil, and now that I've smelled it, I don't love it as much as I love the peppermint oil. So, try both or smell both or whichever one you like. But it really does help with having to wear a mask all day. Wil Mikahson. So that's that. And I did cut my nails at the advice of a friend who is a nurse, and she said, they'll grow back. Because I'm wearing those gloves, and I was going through those gloves constantly all day, and she said, you know what? It's like hair. It'll grow back. Just let it go until this is over, you know, especially for where I work. Just let it go. So I did, and it basically sucks. But, you know, if cutting your nails off and soaking your, dip powder off is the worst thing you have to suffer through this coronavirus, you're doing pretty damn good. So there you go. Okay, and my bag of the day is the Louis Vuitton can bag, which I love this little bag. She's so cute. And it had been kind of, rainy here and there, so I had just kind of put her back on the shelf and let her rest a while. But I broke her out a couple of days ago, and then I'm going to switch into, for Monday, the Chanel Cocoa Handle. Mine still smells like heaven, so I'm super grateful. She still has her smell and her everything. She's such a beautiful bag. Okay, and then now let me start with the tag stuff. I think I'll start with things that I don't like first. That way I end up on a good note. So I think the number one thing I don't like about luxury are people who don't get it and try to criticize you on how you spend your money. I have a friend who doesn't like luxury, but she doesn't criticize me. She doesn't say, oh, you're wasting your money, blah, blah, blah. Because I don't tell her that her hobby or her collection is a waste of money, or how she spends her time or her coins is a waste of her money. So we can agree to disagree and move on. But some people cannot just accept it and move on. Some people have to tell you why you're wasting your money. And I'm like, yeah, because I earned it and I burned it. So there you go. So that is definitely my number one thing that I don't like. The second thing, sorry, I'm looking at notes. The second thing I don't like is an unannounced price increase. Let me know. Give me a 30-day warning that something's going to go up, or maybe do it once a year. And even if, instead of doing it twice a year and it's coming, don't inch me up. Just make it January 1st, and then that way I can get my little Christmas list together or whatever I want to do. So, and please don't increase it right before Christmas, because then you have to alter your Christmas list and all that good stuff. So that was number 2. Number 3 is, geographic exclusions. and Asian exclusives, more to say. And I think they might have some European exclusives too. But like this little girl, she was an Asian exclusive. And if my husband did not happen to travel for work to Japan during that particular, moment it was on sale or for sale, I wouldn't have gotten her. And I've been in Louis Vuitton stores and had someone say, "Is that a real bag?" And it's because they only have it in Asia. So I kind of wish that they would just not do that. Just either sell some online if you don't want it in the stores or something like that. But geographic exclusions are my pet peeve. But I do understand the ones that are like, I'm not going to buy a bag that says, Kansas in Hawaii. I'm not going to buy that bag. So I understand that those, if it says that city or that state or something about it, I totally get that. But the ones that are just, Asian market only or stuff like that, I'm kind of like, what's with that? So that's another one. And then, oh, the lack of well, you know what? Due to COVID-19, a lot of things have moved online, but a lot of things have not. So the fact that you try to force us into the store, I like the option. Although I love my essays to death and I want them to have my sale. So I'll get up, get in my car, and go down to the store. But sometimes, I feel like if it's 3 in the morning, I'm not going to text my essay and say, "Hey, I want this item." If it's 3 in the morning, I want to click the button, go and get, and have it shipped to my office or to my house, whichever one. So sometimes I'm kind of like annoyed that you can't just buy it online because let's say it's 3 in the morning and I feel like spending money, and by the time 9 o'clock the next day rolls around, I've either forgotten about it or I don't want to spend it anymore. So, and I'm not a returner. So, yeah, that's frustrating. And the fifth thing is, well, I guess I covered it already. So I guess there's only 4. Let me think for a second and then. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. My number 5 is the straps on the bags. I wish that every luxury house, Chanel, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Fendi, Ferragamo, Balenciaga, Saint Laurent, I wish they gave you an option. I wish they gave you the option to purchase separately a longer version of that strap that comes with that bag. A lot of times I'll see a bag and I'll go, "Oh, that's super cute." And she comes with a strap, but the strap doesn't fit across me. So, or doesn't sit, it makes the bag sit too high under me. So I'll use it as a top handle only, or I'll pass on the bag because the strap isn't long enough. So I think that they should say, hook a sister up and give me a longer strap, or at least the option to buy a longer strap. And even with that XL Louis Vuitton guitar strap, although it is adjustable, it is not adjustable enough for me. So I'll leave it at that. Okay, now, so that I can end on a good note, here are the good things I like about luxury. And I like the community. I like that I have made friends who I've met in person and not so much in person. Some I've video chatted with, some I've gotten a hug. I love the camaraderie. I love that, somebody will DM me and say, "Hey girl, what you looking for?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is on my list." So I love that. I love the friendships. I love the camaraderie. I love the fact that, for the most part, if I see somebody with something that I'm like, "Oh," we congratulate each other. We're happy for each other, genuinely. And I love that, I just do. I just love it. I love that we all, well, I won't say all, but most of us love each other and are happy for each other, So that's number 1, definitely. I didn't have to look at my list for that one. The second thing I do love is a limited edition. If you look around, most of my Speedies are a limited edition, or most of my bags are, especially that one right there. which is the Boit Chapeau, and she was made exclusively for a grand reopening. And just like I said, I felt like earlier, I felt like they could have done some online, so maybe just the day of the grand reopening have 100 of them available online so that people could have that option too. But I do love a limited edition, and I like the fact that I've never never since I've gotten that bag, I've never seen anybody post it or have it. I've never seen anybody with that bag. And I kind of, even if I don't follow somebody, I kind of just go to the Explore page sometimes and I'll just scroll through on my lunch break or whatever. And I've never seen anybody else with the Boy Chapeau in that blue, purple, blurple color. I've never seen it. So I do like having something that nobody else is going to have, or nobody I know is going to have. The third thing I like is the quality. I know that's a hot topic and it's always up for debate on Louis Vuitton's quality, Chanel's quality, Hermes quality. Well, not really Hermes because they're, top notch. But, I would say once have I had to return something for a quality issue. Yeah. And they just gave me another bag. So for me, it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, if your item is falling apart or melting or something like that, then yeah, okay, I totally get it. I can see where you spent all your hard-earned coins on that and you could be upset. But for those who basically harp on it forever and ever, ever, and I watched some videos that I actually, there's a person who I couldn't watch her anymore. I just couldn't because everything was so negative. Oh, the quality's so bad, but I'm gonna go buy this. Oh, the quality's so bad, but I'm gonna go buy that. Well, if you're so unhappy, then freaking stop shopping there. Don't spend your money if you are so unhappy with that brand or that fashion house or whatever. If you're unhappy, move on. If you think that Louis Vuitton's quality is so terrible, why do you go back? And this particular person made like now everybody has a bad experience here and there. I had a Louis Vuitton kabuki key holder and the paint literally melted on it. They gave me a store credit. I would have rather had the item, but it is what it is. You move on. And it does have to happen. Well, not have to, but it does happen. It does happen. But this particular person made like an entire series on why she hated Louis Vuitton and oh no, the essay wasn't understanding and this and that. And I thought first of all, I was like, unsubscribe. And then secondly, I thought to myself, that's for content. You're just bitching for content. And then the next thing was, if you were so unhappy, you wouldn't spend your lunch money there. You know what I mean? If you're so unhappy with something, you won't spend there. And I get it. The quality has gone down, but choose, accept it or don't. But this particular person made like way too many videos about it. And I just thought, you know what? You're just whining for content and I just don't want to watch it. So I don't subscribe to her channel anymore. So that's another thing. Sorry, I went left with that. And then the next thing this oddly enough, I love the smell. There's something about it, and I just did that, but I always smell my bags, everything. I always smell them because I love that weird leather, smell. I love it. I don't know why, but I honestly do. So when I see people like Yota Style Lux put their bag on their head, I just laugh because I've done the exact same thing, which I'm not going to do for you now. And then the final thing, is the fact that you can have one bag, i.e. a Speedy, and get so many different looks out of that one bag. Because if you look around me, that's a Speedy, that's a Speedy, and that's a Speedy. And they look, and behind me, the multicolor. I love that you can find a style of bag. Let's say your jam is the Neverfull. You can have multiples of Neverfulls and multiples of Speedies and Almas and just about most of their staples. Well, I think those three. So the Speedy, the Alma, and the Neverfull. You can make a rainbow out of those bags, and still not have the same vibe every single time. So I do love that. So, I know this was a long video, and I am sorry. And I did want to point out that my friend Yota did copy my idea, and I caught you. So she knows what I'm talking about. And I'll insert 2 pictures just so she knows for sure what I'm talking about. And thank you for your time. I hope you watched until the end. I hope you have an amazing Easter if you celebrate, and if not, happy Sunday. So thank you again. Sorry about my nails. And I'm not even going to wear my jewelry, just my wedding band, until this is all over because, you know, with the gloves. Anyway, thank you. Aloha.